There is a new bullish Tesla stock rumor going around, although some may think this is actually a little bit bearish, but those are mostly Tesla stock bears. Tesla is rumored to be looking into a new gigafactory location in China, specifically in Zhuhai. My first impression is that it looks like a pretty good location for a gigafactory. This city is next to Hong Kong, as well as Shenzhen and Guangzhou, and yeah, it would be able to serve the southern part as well as the western part of China, I think a little bit better than Shanghai. And if we do export more vehicles from China, well, it is a little bit closer to, for example, Thailand, and of course, it would be just a little bit easier to get to Europe, although I don't think it would make that much of a difference. Shenzhen is where a lot of technology companies are located in China, so it does make sense to be near the best talent. I think the market would see this largely as bullish because producing vehicles in China is generally cheaper than producing them almost anywhere else in the world. Elon did say that the cost structure over at Shanghai is extremely difficult to beat, but if Tesla builds another factory in China, well, maybe we will beat that cost structure. From that point of view, it is certainly bullish. However, if you are not comfortable with the current geopolitical situation, then you may not see this as bullish at all. However, I think most investors, they look generally at what are the chances of something really bad happening between the US and China, and I think they view these probabilities as not exactly super high. And because most investors are diversified already, they don't really think of these risks as too significant if they just own a little piece of one company, while in the meantime, most of their holdings are outside of China anyway. But even if you don't like what's going on between the US and China right now, Tesla will still grow more outside of China than within China. Tesla is ramping up its Berlin factory, its Austin factory. We will start building the Mexico factory soon as well. And at this point, it seems that it is inevitable that Tesla will open a factory in India as well. Tesla is expected to submit a blueprint to the government of India in the next 3 to 6 months. So it seems like things are definitely really serious right now. Nothing has really been confirmed yet, but what we do know is that the negotiations are ongoing and they are real, and it looks really serious, and the government of India is willing to offer some concessions. So that's good news. While it is a bit surprising that Tesla is considering opening a second factory in China, I think overall this would be bullish for Tesla stock. And remember, we have Tom Zhu who built the Shanghai factory in less than 1 year. I also assumed that this new factory would produce next generation vehicles. And you know, Tesla would just absolutely murder the market with the next generation vehicle. There was also a rumor going on that Elon is going to go and see the Model 3 production line over at Shanghai. And now Bloomberg is also reporting that Tesla plans to give an early glimpse of its revamped Model 3 sedan as part of Elon's first visit to the carmaker Shanghai factory in years. That sounds bullish as well. And the first cars coming off a line Thursday are prototypes, so no actual production yet, just prototypes for now. Unless Tesla is willing to heavily discount Model 3s here in the US that are being produced, I think it makes sense to wait for the Model 3 to be revamped here in the US as well, before announcing that vehicle and launching it to the public. There's been a bit more talk about the refresh Model 3, and I think that is not helping the sales of a Model 3 in the US. You can see that the inventory is going up a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more discounting for the Model 3, but the Model Y is holding well so far. The Model 3 is in red and the Model Y is in blue. Now let's go through the rest of Tesla stock news. And today, Tesla stock actually is doing really well. It's outperforming the market. Not only is it up, it's also up while other stocks are down. I think that rumor is helping, but also this I can't imagine how this would hurt. Tesla is about to power a new massive $500 million energy storage project in Arizona. Get ready to start hearing about a lot more of these projects being done and given to Tesla, and not just inside of the US, but also in China as well, because remember, Tesla is building a new factory to produce megapacks in China. What's interesting is it's not just Elon going to China. JP Morgan CEO is also in China this week, and Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, was in China not too long ago as well. Ideally, all I want is just peace. We need to take a brief look at our competition. Lawrencetown Endurance EV has just been revealed, and the endurance on that EV is really unique, is the word I'm looking for. It has a pretty big battery. The efficiency of that EV is worse than that of a massive Hummer EV, which is 40% heavier. You can now reserve a Roadster if you are in Europe or in China, which is, I guess, slightly bullish for Tesla, not by a lot, but just a little bit. Elon said earlier that Tesla expects to launch it late next year. Tesla starts shipping cars at less than 50% charge, but gives free supercharging miles to compensate for that. As a customer, I definitely want my EV to be charged when I pick it up from the delivery location, but it does not seem to be within Tesla's control, actually. There seems to be a new industry policy that your vehicle must be shipped with a maximum of 50% charge. You might get a Tesla vehicle delivered to you with, let's say, 40% or maybe even less than that. And it seems to be because many shipping companies now require electric cars to be between 20 to 50% state of charge to be allowed on their ships, and this seems to be related to a recent fire that a cargo ship had. So yeah, I understand that concern. If you owned a shipping company, you would of course want to do everything to minimize the chance of a fire. And you have to see this. This is just beyond ridiculous. I can't find words to really describe the absurdity of this situation. Tesla has an ESG score of 37, and Philip Morris, which sells you cigarettes, has an ESG score of 84. Somehow, it is much more better for the environment and for our social well-being. I don't know how, but somehow ESG says it is better. Maybe their argument is that if you smoke cigarettes, it's better for the society because you are more social, because you make more friends, because you smoke with other people, perhaps? I, of course, strongly disagree with that. In my opinion, this is extremely hypocritical and completely unfair to Tesla, and it just shows that they have a certain agenda and they will pursue it. They are not actually trying to make anything better, is what I think. Matthew just figured out something that points to the Cybertruck having potentially better sound. He says that the Cybertruck is going to have 2 subwoofers, whereas compared to other Tesla vehicles, they all only have 1. We have a few more important snippets that came out from the meeting with Elon Musk and the foreign minister of China. There should be timely breaks to prevent dangers in the relationship between the two countries, and a healthy, stable, and constructive relationship would benefit both China and the US as well as the world. I like important government officials saying that, yeah, we should get along. Toyota just does not fail to surprise me. Here they go again. This is a PDF that they use to explain why hybrids are better than EVs. They have a point here about the charging infrastructure. Only 12% of public chargers are fast chargers, taking 20 to 60 minutes to get to 80%. And I thought, before reading this, okay, that's going to be their main thing, right? It takes 20 to 60 minutes to charge. But no, what they are really trying to say is that charging using one of these public chargers can take anywhere from 8 to 30 hours to charge. Oh, they conveniently forget to mention that if you own a Tesla it is incredibly easy to find a supercharger that is not occupied that will charge your vehicle in about 30 minutes. While I do wish that charging speeds were a little bit higher, you definitely don't need to wait for hours and hours and hours just to charge your vehicle. That is complete crap. The PDF does not make all that much sense. Sure, there are some destination chargers, but there are so many fast superchargers that you'd never need to use these destination chargers if you actually want to charge your vehicle quickly. What's been interesting lately is that Elon has not been tweeting, and that I think is because he is in China and the general public does not have access to Twitter, although Elon could use his Starlink satellites to access anything he wants. But to keep good relations with the Chinese government, I think it is not a bad idea for Elon not to tweet while he is visiting China. Gary Black remains really bullish on Tesla stock. These are Gary's latest projections. He still thinks that Tesla will deliver 10 million vehicles roughly in the year of 2030, and this is how much he thinks Tesla will earn. Wall Street is still at just 6.4 million vehicle deliveries for 2030. And in this video, I talk about Tesla starting to advertise. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Tesla has been pushed around, but you know that Tesla is going to do this to Toyota and others. They're getting more and more desperate.